SK is just taking this round really slow, trying to make them make mistakes. Force is slowly walking back from the alley. Back to team mid. Looks like they're going to try to fake inner to outside, I think.
Yep. Get right smokes the top ramp. A couple trades on the outer side, and it is down to Robin and Get Right now. Bomb gets dropped, but Get Right's all the way on the flank once again, just not really there.
Yeah.
For all the action, and he's just gonna save that AK as he runs out
that
of
pop
time.
flash alley was a good thing by Navi. They fucked up the strat because I don't think that strat worked properly without 5 people, and I think they still tried it. I think maybe going back to 4 inner would have worked a little bit better.
Yeah, well, I mean, that pop flash was definitely key to winning that round. And Zania even heard Forrest down to 45 health as well.
Yeah.
And SK kind of faking an outer rush right now. Robin is back E-box and is getting naded down. Zeus gets a kill in Brown Hall. SK looks a little bit lost here. Starix hopping inner from far back. And Zeus is just hiding. Is going to play the top ramp passively. And they just want to make sure they don't get picked early now if SK chooses to come inner.
Force is just kind of fighting Starks here at the upper ramp. He won't peek him though.
And SK is in the side. Delpan needs to get a pick. There's the first one. Forrest gets another.
Gets one. Delpan, 2 huge frags. Say9's on the flank though. Forrest gets him. Markloff last alive. That was a huge succession of kills by Delpan. I mean, we needed him to step up on this T side, and he finally has done so. Wouldn't you say like that? Like, if there was any time to step up, it's right now. Like,
yeah, and that was a 3v5 where the only way they could really win was just by hitting shots. You know, like Navi had good positioning. They were playing it smart, but they just got outshot, and that's what you need to do sometimes in these close games where it feels impossible to win rounds as terrorists.
I think that's what sets SK apart from other teams. I mean, obviously Navi has that same skill, but it's harder for Navi to pull out those crazy shots when you're playing versus people that I would say are more skilled than them.
Yeah. Overall, I agree. And now, map point once again for SK.
They're just taking it nice and slow right here. Is Starks opping still? I don't think he is. He's got a Colt actually.
Yeah, he has a Colt.
He's on the hitch, so I hope he's not opping. But future 2012 strats coming up. Yeah, SK's just taking it really slow time here.
Not really a whole lot going on. SK's kind of taking over Brown Hall, trying to clear ladder, but Edward is on top of the ladder train. Doesn't get spammed either, so SK looks to be heading towards the inner side now. Starix is going to spot them here in a second.
Well, mage damage going on Forest. I mean, face gets hit to 27. Flashes and smokes coming out upper. Huge inner execute happening. Navi over rotating. Zeus kind of pushing up in the smoke, gets blind. Let's see if he gets taken out here. He's pushing up. Still not sure what he wants to do. Push up through the smoke. He's behind all of them right now. Takes out 1, takes out 2, takes out 3. That's a huge round by Zeus right here.
Make it 4.
Force coming in.
Force gets a kill on Markov, closes the round, and it's going to be a double OT.
I mean, that round really should have... I think SK was in position. They got the pick. They were getting bombed down, and then Zeus got... The third kill was a bit lucky, but he played it right. He took his time and, made sure that he didn't, just start spraying randomly at one guy and get traded instantly.
Played it very, very smart, that's for sure. So, as the match goes further and further into overtime, at what point do you think it starts favoring either team? I mean, obviously, like, as the match goes on, you have to say either team is probably going to be better off in these long marathon matches.
If you go from a tactical standpoint, I think that Navi has more strats and more different things they can run than SK can.
Yeah, but at the same time, SK has more skill, so they don't necessarily need as many strats. All they need to do is hit those shots. Like that's how they won their only round now too.
I feel like SK are the type of team that if if at any point Navi thinks that one of their teammates like lost them an OT round or something, it's gonna hurt them more so than SK. And I think the longer this goes on, I wouldn't say it's better for SK, but the way they play, they just try to hit shots, and if they have an OT where when you go to so many rounds, there's a good chance one of these OT rounds Navi some of them can just miss some easy shots. And then I think the rounds will go towards SK in that sense, because I don't think they're going to miss as many easy kills. So
you expect SK to win this match still?
If you had to make a bet.
Well, while we're waiting for Navi to get ready, who do you think the possible third map would favor more? Third map is Mirage.
I'd say you have to say it favors SK. The only downside I see to this map is Navi hasn't played it that much, and SK has a lot of demos that Navi could have watched on it, so if they predicted it, they could be heavily anti-stratted, which I think would be really bad for SK, because it's one of those maps where it hasn't been played a lot like Train, so if SK starts getting antied and they don't have like setups to fall back on or anything, I don't know what will happen, if you know what I mean. Like, it could get a bit weird for them, but I definitely think the map overall favors SK from what I've seen in the past. SK really seems to know how to play it properly.
Yeah, I think they have way more match experience on it than Navi as well. How do you feel about Forge and Mirage being these decider maps in big tournaments? Like, you still have to assume all these teams are way less experienced on them, and I think you would get better matchups in like the regular 5 maps. So do you think adding them was the right move by tournament organizers?
Personally, I like the maps that have been added. I think like teams like MTW, where they were really good on 3 maps, but not so good on 2. That, I mean, it kind of gives a team that's really bad on like 1 or 2 maps a second chance to kind of get better at those maps. I don't know, though. I definitely like them. I like that addition of the maps. I definitely don't think we need 2 maps every year, though. I think this should be it for a while, you know, so people can get good at them. And just like Tuscan, eventually people will just start accepting them, and then it'll be normal. Because I think it's just like Tuscan, when there was an ESWC final of like We Made Fox or Estro at the time versus
Pentagram.
Pentagram, yeah. They had that Tuscan final where Pentagram won at the end on it, but like a lot of people were complaining about Tuscan, and no one would ever complain about Tuscan now. Like,
it's a bit similar as Extreme Masters 2 final when Mousesports won, and that was again. That was as well again against Istro, and that was on Kabul. So I do think 7 maps is a little much for the map rotation, though. Like, if you can always remove 2 maps, then I mean, I guess that's fine, because you only have to practice 5. But I don't think you can possibly practice 7 maps to be good on all of them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's ever a good idea for tournaments not to let you remove maps. It doesn't make for consistent CS. There's always going to be a team that's not going to be good at a certain map. Navi's not good at Nuke. You know, MTW was notoriously bad on Dust 2. You know, again is bad on Tuscan. You know, all these teams have a map that they suck on, and if you can't remove it, you can just get gated out of tournaments. We saw it happen in Navi at the start of the year at a couple of these tournaments that were BO1 tourneys, or they didn't let people remove, or, you know, even that last tournament, MSI beat at Russia, you could see how much of an advantage a team has that's really good on one map, and they get to pick it, and you can't remove it, you know? Yeah. I definitely think it evens out the games, and it creates a better matchup when you're allowed to remove maps all the time.
Yep. And this overtime is just taking forever to start, so I'm gonna go grab a drink from the kitchen. Be back in a minute.
Right. I think they're starting to switch sides. Should be looking to see SK start CT. I guess they're starting the OTs, so SK's always going to start on CT, and Navi's always going to start on T in these OTs, which I think might favor SK a tiny bit. Although you get to play both sides and it is 3 rounds, but if SK can get a 3-0 lead, I think it'll help them just kind of grind out a random round, although both teams seem to be super good on the CT side. Alright, so this round is starting. Looks like Markov has op in hand like we're used to seeing in these OT rounds. I think this OT really helps him have an op at all times on T side, whereas in the last half we haven't seen him gets picked by Delpan. He was even ready for the boost. That's a really good big pick by him. It's falling back now. Say9 actually spammed to 15 HP. He's been getting spammed all half long. I don't know if he keeps trying to do the same thing or if he's just getting really unlucky. I haven't really been paying attention to him. I've been watching Markov and Delpan at the start of rounds because they're the ones that are on a map like Train. No one else can really go that aggro on maps unless you're pushing Ali as the CTs.
So what's happened early on? I see Markov's picked up.
Markov actually,
and Zeus and Senya are both low on health.
Yeah, Senya got spammed at T mid, and Markov got double boosted in the back of halls waiting for Delpan to push upper. Delpan just jumped around the corner and picked him instantly. Like, it was really fast. Like you said, that Delpan has faster reactions. I think that's proven at that round at least. Face at inner, get right, gets 1 kill on a Zeus. Face hiding under the bomb train area. Should be able to get a kill here on a Say9, only 15 HP, so... Face gets 1, gets taken out by Say9, only has 15 HP, gets taken out by Nay by Delpan, and Starks is just 4 HP, should be taken out anytime. Yep, Force takes him out. So yeah, I don't know if you want to comment on that, but yeah, Delpan just destroyed him, like a double stack, which is not... Delpan's obviously not expecting that, so it's not like he knew where Markov was going to be. He just jumped around a corner, saw Markov snap, then killed him before Markov could even click, so... It's fairly impressive. Navi's rushing outside. I don't think this is the best idea for them, but we'll see how it goes. Forest just on top of the 5, going a little bit too aggressive there. Edward's going to actually rush the bomb plan again. They're going back to that one strat they were running the other round. Stark's taking him out. Face coming in through the Z. It's going to meet up with Edward really quick. Gets taken out. What do you think?
Go on.
What are you thinking about SK here? Can they survive with having to get 2 rounds into?
I'm not sure if they'll get 2, but I think as long as the CTs keep winning 2-1, it's still anyone's game.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't want to rely on having to get 2 just to make another OT, but it's not impossible.
Yeah. What do you think about these T sides? I mean, besides a couple of rushes here and there, for the most part it's been slow. I'd say like at least 65% of the rounds on T have been taken fairly slow. There hasn't, like, a lot of times you'll see teams like MTW rush almost every round, or, you know, FX, they do fast strats, like really, like, they might not be a full out rush, but they'll take over Brown and take outside within like 25 seconds of the round, you know, like.
Yeah, well, I mean, these two teams are both like to take their time, so I guess that's a difference in just playing styles. Now Navi is going a little bit faster, executing out of ID with
Russian
4
get
people
right at the back here,
at 1 minute.
Say9. Delpan takes out 1 from the Z.